All right, so you've been sending over a bunch of research about CNC woodworking.
Yeah,
And looks like you're thinking of maybe turning this woodworking thing into a side hustle, right?
that's right. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I'm really interested in it.
So we're gonna dive into which CNC projects are gonna make you the most money.
Okay.
We'll look at pricing your work, how to get the word out there, maybe even how to scale things up
It sounds good.
if things really start taking off.
Yeah, definitely. That's the dream.
Yeah.
I'm looking at CNC because these machines have really upped the game for woodworkers. You get a level of precision and speed that's almost impossible to get with hand tools.
Yeah, I get the speed part, but how does that translate to bigger profits?
Well, imagine making custom cutting boards by hand. Each one would take hours, right?
Right.
With a CNC router, you can cut that basic shape in minutes. Then you can focus on the fancy stuff like custom engravings or inlays.
So you're not just making things faster, you're making better stuff that people will pay more for.
Exactly. Plus, we've got articles here on making all sorts of profitable CNC projects, from signs to furniture.
Okay, let's get into it. What are some of these top-earning CNC projects? What kind of money are we talking about?
Custom cutting boards are always at the top of the list. People love them, they make great gifts, and there's a lot of room for creativity.
Yeah, I've seen those getting really popular, but what's the earning potential? How much can you actually make?
It depends on a few things. A basic board might sell for $25, but a large one with, say, premium hardwoods like cherry or walnut could easily go for $400, even more.
Wow, okay, that's a pretty big range. I bet there are some secrets to getting those higher prices.
One article talked about using high-quality wood. People will pay more for a board made with beautiful, durable hardwoods.
Right, that makes sense. What about the design? Are there certain styles that are hot right now?
Live edge boards are really popular. That natural, organic shape, gives it a unique, rustic look that a lot of people love. And inlays are big too. You can use contrasting wood or epoxy resin for a really cool visual effect.
So you're mixing the precision of the CNC machine with the natural beauty of the wood. I see that could be a winning combo.
And don't forget the finish. A nice food-grade oil or wax really brings out the beauty and protects the wood.
So you've got the materials, the design, and the finish. That's how you create a premium product that people are willing to shell out for.
Yep. Now let's move on to another popular project, coffee tables. With CNC, you can create these intricate designs that would be almost impossible to do by hand.
And I imagine those intricate designs lead to a bigger price tag, right?
For sure. A simple design might go for around $180, but a statement piece with exotic woods and intricate details could fetch upwards of $1,800.
Wow, okay. So a well-crafted coffee table can be a real moneymaker.
Definitely. And there are some trends that are driving those prices up. Mixing materials is one, like wood with metal accents or glass inlays. Live edge slabs are also really popular for coffee tables.
That makes sense. Bringing a little bit of nature indoors.
Yeah, and of course, the complexity of the design plays a role too. Intricate joinery or carved details will bump up the price.
So we've got cutting boards and coffee tables. What else is on this list of high-earning CNC projects?
Well, wooden signs and decor are another big one. They're incredibly versatile. You do anything from rustic farmhouse style to sleek, modern designs.
I can see that. People love to personalize their spaces.
Right. For signs, reclaimed wood is a classic. Adds a lot of character to a piece.
Yeah.
And you've got cedar, redwood, and pine, all popular for their durability.
Yeah, I bet those rustic, weathered finishes are in high demand, right?
For sure. Techniques like whitewashing and distressing, using milk paint, that sort of thing, they create that sought-after vintage look. But for modern designs, a clean, clear finish that highlights the wood is what you want.
So you're really tapping into a whole spectrum of styles here.
Exactly. And the lettering and graphics, that's all done with the CNC router as well.
So it's perfect for custom work, right? Family names, business logos, all that.
Yeah, you got it. That's a big selling point, that ability to personalize.
People want something unique.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got cutting boards, coffee tables, wooden signs. What else is making money in the CNC world?
It seems like people really want to make things their own,
Yeah, that personal touch.
It's a big deal. And that actually leads us to another good category. Small, giftable things, perfect for weddings, or housewarming parties.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like wooden bottle openers, coasters, maybe even personalized phone stands.
I like that.
Little things.
Those are good because they seem pretty quick to make and you could probably sell a ton of them.
Exactly. And you can use scraps of wood from bigger projects.
Oh, smart.
So less waste.
Yeah. Keeps those costs down.
Exactly.
Speaking of costs, one of the articles talked about factoring in material costs when you're pricing your work. How do you actually do that?
Well, you got to think about the type of wood you're using and how much you need for each project. Hardwoods, walnut, cherry, maple, they're going to be more expensive than like pine or cedar.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're balancing quality with cost.
Exactly. And I saw a tip to add about 20% to your wood estimates.
20%. What's that for?
Just in case, for waste, mistakes, or if you got to be picky about which boards you use for a certain project.
That's a good point, yeah. Always better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to money.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked materials. What about labor costs? How do you figure that in?
Well, that's where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah.
You got to set your hourly rate.
Okay.
And that depends on your experience, how skilled you are,
Right.
and how complex the work is.
So someone who's been doing this for years can charge more.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Right, of course.
And you got to think about how much detail and craftsmanship goes into each piece. Something with a ton of carving or joinery that's going to take more time.
More skill.
More skill, yeah.
Okay, so you figured out your material costs, your labor, any other expenses like hardware or finishing.
Right.
So how do you actually set the final price?
One of the articles had a simple formula. Material costs plus 10%, then add your hourly rate times the number of hours you worked on it.
And that extra 10% on materials, that's like a buffer for unexpected stuff, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. A little cushion.
Yeah,
Seems like pricing is a whole science in itself.
it is. And don't forget about regional differences too,
Oh, right. Like things might cost more in one area than another.
Exactly. Wood and labor can cost way more depending on where you are.
Oh, wow. So like that really affects your profits.
Big time. One example I saw, a cabinet that cost $17,500 on the Northeast coast
Okay.
might only cost $13,500 in Georgia.
Whoa, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, so you got to do your research to see what other people are charging.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about what sells and how to set prices.
Right.
Now, how do you actually get your stuff in front of customers? What about marketing?
Well, you need a strong online presence these days.
That's true for pretty much everything.
It is.
So like a website, right?
A website's a must.
Okay.
Show off your work, tell people about your brand.
Your little digital shop window.
Exactly.
And social media's got to be huge for this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's all visual.
Instagram, Pinterest, perfect for showing off what you can do.
Exactly. Beautiful photos, run some ads, get those eyeballs.
And you got to post regularly, keep people engaged.
Right. Stay top of mind. What about email marketing? Is that still a thing?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Build that email list.
Okay.
Keep people updated, offer them discounts, that sort of thing.
Build those relationships.
That's it.
What about, like, craft fairs?
Oh, yeah, those are great too.
Get out there. Meet people face to face.
Exactly. Answer questions, get feedback.
That personal touch again.
It's all about connection.
Okay, so let's say you've got your pricing down, your marketing's working, orders are coming in. How do you handle that? I mean, how do you make more stuff without burning yourself out?
One of the articles talked about batch production. It's a real game changer.
Batch production, I haven't heard of that.
It's basically making a bunch of the same thing at once instead of one at a time.
Oh, like an assembly line?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
But doesn't that mean less customization?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Not necessarily. You can make a bunch of, like, basic parts.
Okay.
Like cutting board blanks or table legs,
Right.
and then customize them with different engravings, finishes, whatever the customer wants.
Oh, I see. That's smart.
Efficiency and personalization.
I like it. Any other tips for batch production?
Quality control is key.
Yeah.
Make sure every piece is up to your standards, even when you're making a lot of them.
Consistency is everything.
It is. And you might want to think about upgrading your equipment.
Oh, okay.
A faster router, automatic tool changer, that kind of thing.
Yeah, to keep up with demand.
Right. And inventory management becomes crucial too.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Got to keep track of all that stuff.
Okay, so taking your woodworking from a hobby to a business,
Yeah,
it's a lot more than just making cool stuff.
it is.
What advice would you give to someone who's feeling a little overwhelmed by all of this?
It's a lot to take in, for sure,
Yeah.
but you don't have to do everything at once.
Right.
Start with what you love.
What you're good at.
Exactly. Play to your strengths. Maybe start small, those smaller gifts,
Yeah.
and then branch out as you get more comfortable.
Right. Build up to it.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of CNC. So many possibilities.
You know, one thing I keep thinking about is like finding your own style.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, there are so many people doing this. How do you stand out?
It's all about finding your niche, letting your personality come through.
So it's more than just technical skill.
Way more.
It's about, like, your artistic vision.
That's it. What gets you excited? What are you drawn to?
Yeah.
Maybe you love mid-century modern design, or you're into geometric patterns, textures,
Yeah, I get it. So you're incorporating those interests into your work.
Right. It makes it unique, tells a story.
And that's what connects with people.
Exactly.
It's like having a signature.
Yeah.
People see it and they know it's yours.
And as you get better, you can push those boundaries even further.
Yeah. What's possible with CNC is just, like, mind-blowing.
It is. Maybe you specialize in custom furniture with crazy inlays,
Yeah.
or you start making like wooden toys, puzzles.
Find that thing that lights you up and that people want.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot.
We have.
Projects, pricing, marketing, even scaling up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What's the one thing you want our listener to remember from all of this?
CNC Woodworking. It's not just a hobby.
It's a business.
It's a way to take your passion for woodworking and turn it into something more.
Build something you're proud of.
And maybe even make a living doing it.
The dream.
It is.
Yeah.
And remember, success isn't just about using the machines
It's about bringing your vision, your passion.
and your business smarts.
Exactly.
So, to our listener out there, ready to get started, what's your best advice?
Don't be afraid to just go for it.
Yeah.
Try things out, learn, keep exploring.
It all starts with that first step,
It does.
taking those woodworking dreams and making them real.
That's it.
Who knows, maybe someday we'll be talking about your amazing creations on a future deep dive.
That would be awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.